Hello, and welcome to V-Anatomy, Veterinary Anatomy and Physiology for students studying animal science and veterinary nursing. The focus of today's lesson is the ribs, sternum and intercostal muscles. Using the dog as an example, we will look at the attachment of the ribs to the sternum and the intercostal muscles. The ribs form the lateral walls of the thoracic cavity and will protect the organs within. There are 13 pairs of ribs in the dog. This is the same as the number of thoracic vertebrae, as one of the characteristics of thoracic vertebrae is that they articulate with ribs. An articulation is another term for a joint. Each rib will articulate with 2 vertebrae, with a synovial joint at each site. These will allow movement during breathing, allowing the rib cage to expand and contract, leading to changes in thoracic pressure. The tubercle of the rib articulates via a sliding joint with the transverse fovea of the thoracic vertebrae, which is the same number as the number of the rib. This is the costotransverse joint. The head of the rib articulates with the costal fovea of the rib cranial to this, the costovertebral joint. This is a ball and socket type joint with limited mobility. Each rib consists of bone dorsally and cartilage ventrally, the costal cartilage. The area where this changes from bone to cartilage is known as the costochondral joint. The costal cartilage then articulates with the sternum. The sternum forms the ventral border of the thorax and consists of 8 sternebrae joined by intersternal cartilage. This cartilage ossifies as the animal ages and is eventually replaced by bone. Recall that the most cranial sternabra, the manubrium, projects cranially to the first pair of ribs and forms the palpable landmark of the thoracic inlet. The last sternabra, the xiphoid process, is longer and flattened. The xiphoid cartilage attaches caudally from this and provides attachment to the linea alba. The xiphoid cartilage also ossifies in the adult and may be known as the xiphisternum. We will now look at the attachment of the ribs to the sternum, illustrated with a lateral view and a ventral view. The first 8 pairs of ribs attach to the sternum directly and are known as sternal ribs because of this. They will articulate with the intersternal cartilage between each sternabra. Ribs from pairs 9 to 12 attach via their costal cartilage to form the costal arch. These are known as the asternal or false ribs. The 13th pair of ribs do not attach to the costal arch and are known as the floating ribs. The ends of these ribs will sit within the abdominal muscles. The intercostal muscles fill the space between the ribs and are involved in respiration. Animals that do not have a diaphragm, such as birds, rely on the contractions of the intercostal muscles to breathe. The external intercostals run cranioventrally in the intercostal space. When these contract, they will lift the ribs upwards and outwards, thus increasing the volume of the thoracic cavity and allowing intake of air during inspiration. The internal intercostals run caudoventrally and lie deeper to the external intercostals. When these contract, they pull the ribs closer together and will aid in expiration. Expiration is mainly a passive process relying on recoil of ribs and relaxation of the diaphragm, so the internal intercostals usually only contract during forced expiration. Both sets of these muscles are innervated by the intercostal nerves. These are located on the caudal aspect of each rib, along with the intercostal artery and vein. The intercostal nerves may be anaesthetized via an intercostal nerve block, so it is important to recall the location of these nerves. It is also important to remember when performing a thoracocentesis or inserting a thoracic drain, so as to avoid damaging these structures. You should now have a better understanding of the ribs, sternum and associated intercostal muscles. Think about these landmarks the next time you take thoracic radiographs, or if you have a patient that requires thoracic drainage. Please leave a comment if you have any further questions. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe to see future videos. Thanks for watching.